Hey everybody, and welcome to our first family chat of 2020. We're super excited to be back for the spring semester. My name is Caroline Davis, and I'm the graduate assistant for transition programs, and I oversee the family chats and our family newsletter. And today we're going to be talking about getting more involved on and off campus. And today we have Kaylee Jacobs and Cole Tillett, so I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves.
Oh, wow. Okay. My name is Kaylee, as she said. I'm a history major with an English minor, and I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. 919, go Pack. Just gotta put it out there.
What school are we at?
It's fine. We're talking about football.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Football.
For sports,
Oh.
you don't have that.
Yeah.
So you have to pick a team.
That's true. Oh, sorry. My name's Cole Tillett. I am a senior here at UNCW. Go Seahawks. I'm double majoring in supply chain management and business analytics, and my hometown is Greenville, North Carolina. Don't go Pirates.
All right. I'm so sorry if we have any ECU families out there. So we have some planned questions, and as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment them, and then someone will answer them, or we will answer them on air. And so our first question is, what are you involved in on campus?
Okay, I'll go first. You go first next time.
Oh, thank you.
So on campus, I am a part of Alpha Gamma Delta. That's my sorority here on campus. Love them. I'm the executive director of the programming board, which oversees fraternity and sorority-led programming. I'm on the student media board. I'm a student body at large member on it. I also am a marketing specialist for the Office of Student Leadership and Engagement. And I'm also part of Overflow, which is a Christian organization here on campus. We meet on Tuesday nights. Super fun.
Awesome. So I am currently involved in the Student Government Association as a member of the Appropriations Committee, where we handle all of the student fee money, which totals over $500,000. But yeah, I know, right? And then it's a very daunting task. But in the past, I've been a part of UNC Weekends, which is a programming body that provides different events and activities on and off campus to provide alternatives to students drinking. And then I also used to be a part of the Historical Society here at UNCW, the Swingin' Seahawks, which is a swing dance group. I used to be on the Student Honors Advisory Council, which we looked over applications for the Honors College and stuff like that. And I also used to be an honors mentor. And then I also was a member of the Student Government Association for 3 years as a senator, as a vice chair of the Appropriations Committee, as well as the student body president. I was a student body president during the 2018-2019 school year. I'm also I forgot to mention this earlier too. I'm a part of the Student Analytics and Supply Chain Association, which is my major. And I also used to work for the Campus Activities and Involvement Center. So I've kind of done anything and everything on campus, trying to get the most out of my experience here at UNCW.
And they are still students.
Somehow,
still balancing school and doing great in their academics. So yeah, as you can see, they've done just about everything there is to do on campus, which is awesome. But as you can see, UNCW has a ton of opportunities to get involved, which can be a little overwhelming if you're not sure where to start. So if a student came asking where should they start, what would you recommend to them?
Yeah, so I'm a little biased. I used to work for the Campus Activities and Involvement Center, and I personally think that's a great place to start because they have all the registered student organizations on file. So if there's something that you're looking for, they have trained students who can help you find which clubs or organizations you might want to be a part of. And they can also point you into the directions of non-student organizations like OSLE, where they have different volunteering opportunities. So it's really a great place to start and find something that you might enjoy.
I completely agree. Just because my office is right next to it. So Cake definitely has a lot of awesome resources, but I think even narrowing it down smaller than that and just finding one thing that you're really passionate about or that you're really interested in and pursuing that and finding different ways to get involved with it is probably your best bet for finding involvement that fits you. Because it's not necessarily just about getting involved. It's about finding involvement that's for you, that you actually want to stick with and you're going to continue with. I also think that asking your friends that maybe have been around campus or maybe that know people on campus is a great way to do it. That's how I found a lot of my involvement, is just talking to people that I know, and it worked out for me. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just to add to that, like you'll get tons of emails and a lot of stuff in the first couple of weeks. And
many.
yeah, and as you can see, like I've done a lot on campus, and a lot of that was trying to find what I enjoyed, and so definitely getting out there and trying new things and finding what's best for you.
Yeah, and then so they said OSLE and CAKE. So just for anyone that's unfamiliar, OSLE is our Office of Student Leadership and Engagement, and CAKE is Campus Activities and Involvement Center. So we say OSLE and CAKE, but that's what we're talking about. So then what have been some of the benefits you've experienced from being involved?
For me personally, I think the greatest benefit that I've gotten from being involved is the friendships that I've made. When I transferred to UNCW from Appalachian State, and when I transferred here, I only knew my sister, and that was it. And through being involved, I've made great connections here on campus. I've created a community for myself, and it's made UNCW feel like a home away from home, which is something that I definitely wouldn't have gotten if I wasn't involved. I also think that I've been very encouraged through being involved, and I've had a lot of people from the different things I'm involved in tell me that like they see me doing blank, and I was like, I would have never thought that I would have been able to do that. And because of that encouragement, I definitely have been able to step out of my comfort zone and try new things, and it's really helped me figure out what are my goals as a person and what are the things I want to accomplish. So shout out to everyone who has helped me on the way.
Yeah, and for me to add to that, from what I got out of my experience as a student here is just all the different experiences in these different organizations that I'm able to learn from and grow from. So like I learned event planning as a part of UNC Weekends, and then I learned how to read applications. So like when I in the Student Honors Advisory Council, so I was able to learn how to write applications myself for other things, and then in student government, learning how a university works and interacting with students on a day-to-day basis. So I've learned a lot through my different experiences, and I was able to apply a lot of those in full-time positions and stuff like that, like internships. So it's been really useful in the job market is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And one branching off of that, one thing that I've always been told is that if it doesn't directly relate to your major or career path, any transferable skills that you can gain and put into your career path or your job search or whatnot, then it's a useful experience of your time. So transferable skills are always great, and getting involved on campus can definitely provide those for students. And then, so as we've said, you both do everything under the sun. So how do you balance classes, work, and your involvement?
Should we go first?
Go for it.
Awesome. Yeah, so I've done, as you said, everything under the sun. And what I found is finding what works best for you in time management. For me, it was having multiple sets of calendars. So I had a physical calendar like in my hands. It was like a small little moleskin notebook which I wrote everything down in. And then I also had a whiteboard calendar. I bought that freshman year. Best purchase I've ever made because I could just write whatever month it was, what was going on, classes, work, or student involvement. And then I also have an online calendar. I actually had more than one online version. I had one for Google, and I also had one for my Outlook calendar. And they all synced up. So no matter where I was, I could find whatever information and where I needed to be. And I also set aside time for classes. I just like a meeting for work or for student involvement, I would set aside X amount of time on my calendar as a block. And that's when I was going to do schoolwork and nothing else. So really managing and finding what works best for you. So.
Yeah, I think a big part of balancing classes and involvement is time management. It's about finding out what you can actually handle. And through doing that, you do have to slip up a little bit. I know for me, same thing, like I live off my calendar. I call it my Bible. If it's not on my calendar, it's probably not going to happen. Because if it's not there, I don't know I need to be doing it. Another thing is having people to hold you accountable is a really big thing too. Because if you don't have people who are like, hey, aren't you supposed to be doing this? Or I know that you're doing this later, but could we squeeze this in? You truly can get mixed up in the things that you're doing. And it also helps to have people holding you accountable because it shows that you're not managing it all on your own. Mm-hmm. Because you truly can't hold all these responsibilities on one person. It's not meant for us to be carrying all that burden by ourselves. Another big thing that I've learned with balancing is setting time for yourself is a big deal. Because it's really easy to get burnt out with all these different things that you're experiencing and that you're working with and that you're doing. And so balancing classes and work and involvement is a big deal, but also balancing yourself and giving yourself time. Like what you said, I always block out at least an hour of my time that I can sit in my bed and talk to no one. Because that's a big thing for me is I want to have that time for myself. And I'm telling you, if I didn't block it out, I probably wouldn't do it. So I completely agree with calendars, having people. and checking your calendars multiple times.
I close my eyes, I can see it. So
So yeah, kind of speaking of like making time for yourself, like self-care is also super important. So do you have any like your go-to self-care things?
Oh, absolutely. So for me, I have a cat and she's everything. So that's absolutely some of my self-care is just going home and spending time with her just because it's so calming for me. Another thing that I do is I like coffee shops. That's like my place. So it doesn't sound like your typical self-care, but for me, it's doing something for myself and taking time out of the day to do something that only I truly want to be doing. And it's always nice to also just have a nice cup of coffee. So that's my personal self-care.
Yeah, mine's similar. I personally like to drive, so I like to drive around. You don't get on your phone because you're not supposed to be on your phone when you're driving anyway.
She loved that.
And it's for me it's really rhythmic going on some of the back roads around Wilmington. That's one of my personal favorites, but also the beach. I like just going to the beach, having nice walks on the beach, and then go any time of day, night, whatever works. It could be after a rough test, and you're like, I just need to go where no one's gonna find me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like there's places around campus like the Clock Tower Lounge, which we can see from here, as well as the Blumenthal Reserve. So there's lots of different really scenic places around Wilmington, the UNCW campus.
Also the outside of the education building,
Oh,
like
yeah.
the water fountains
Oh, that's
and stuff
beautiful.
like that.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Also,
So many places.
quick plug about the beach. Parking in Wrightsville Beach is free during the winter, so I've been going a lot since
Until
parking.
March.
Yeah, until March. So
Yeah.
tell your student they have the rest of the month to enjoy free parking in Wrightsville.
It's nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yes, all of those things are great. And then, what's the most rewarding experience you've had in any organization you've been a part of on campus?
You got that one.
Yeah. For me, being a part of the Student Government Association has been a really big part of my experience here at UNCW. I've learned a lot about how the campus runs, as well as how to relay that information to my fellow students, and then taking their questions, comments, and concerns and giving it to administration. So being that intermediary and really working with students to find what's going to work best for them has been really a meaningful experience and something that I hope to do when I grow up. but as I move forward in life is finding ways to help people and make a difference in my community and on wherever I may be. So
Absolutely. I think that for me, my most rewarding experience has come from my work with the OSLE. When I first started there, I was an engagement assistant. So like I sat at the front desk, I did small tasks, I answered emails, and they saw something in me there that I personally didn't see myself. And they were like, hey, we want you to do our marketing. And I'm a history major with an English minor, so I have no idea about anything with marketing. And they told me no, we actually really see you doing this. And through that, I found a whole new passion that I didn't know that I had. I found a new skill set that I truly would have never figured out that I was good at if I hadn't had that experience. It also has given me different ways to reach different parts of my community, and it's given me new ways to give back. The OSLE is honestly such an encouraging place that I've had a great time working up there, but I think that's definitely my most rewarding experience, because through that I have had so many experiences from that, if that makes sense. But also not just experiences from it, but I've learned so much about myself from it too.
And yeah, a lot of things have the ripple effect. So
Absolutely.
just that one opportunity rippled and has affected so much of your college career. And that's so much, that's important to note, that how even though it may seem like you're getting involved in a small way, it could end up being so much bigger than that.
Oh, absolutely.
And then what is one piece of advice you have for students who are looking to become more involved?
Make your yeses yes and your nos no. That is my biggest piece of advice that I will give anyone, whether it comes to any part of your life. Because when you're getting involved, you have to realize that people are depending on you as much as you're depending on them. And there's people in that organization who, if you say they're oh, I want to do this and I'm going to do this, they expect you to do it. And so to make sure that everything you're saying, that you're holding yourself accountable for, you can actually physically produce is a really big deal. Also, being able to say no. Because a lot of times when it comes to involvement is you're throwing a lot of things at the same time. And because you're so used to being involved, you're oh, I'll do it. Absolutely. And suddenly you're sitting there with 47 different tasks and you're I have to eat at some point.
Yeah.
So it's really important to make sure that you can physically say no, and that when you do, you don't have to feel guilty about it.
Mhm.
My other biggest piece of advice is to make sure you're passionate about what you're doing. Because if you're involved but you're not liking it or you don't see yourself continuing to do it and nothing from it is giving back to you and you're not feeling like you're giving back to others with it, then you're not doing it wholeheartedly. And I think that it's really important to pursue your activities with passion. And that's how you're gonna get the most out of it. And that's how you're gonna have the best memorable experiences as well.
Yeah, well, I can't really add to that. That was
Sorry.
a perfect statement. I couldn't agree more. The only thing I can think of adding is just really putting yourself out there. And like my philosophy, and I know it's not everyone's, is to put yourself out there. If you fail, you learn from it and you move on and you grow as a person. So don't be afraid of putting yourself out there, trying new things, trying new organizations. But also, like she was saying, learn to say yes, learn to say no, and stick to what you think is best for you. So overall, I just put yourself out there and do your
And
best.
going off of that, like you said, like the worst that's gonna happen is you're gonna fail.
Yeah.
And that's not even that bad.
Yeah.
Because college
here to
is
learn.
about, exactly.
That's
College is
it.
about your failures and your successes and figuring out which one is gonna be what you're gonna stick with. And failing is sometimes just a sign that maybe you're not supposed to be doing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's okay. And you'll, like you said, you'll move on and you'll learn. And that's why we have such a great staff, is they're there to pick us up when we fail and say, this is what went wrong. This is what we can do better next time. And then they help foster your growth. And
exactly.
that's awesome. And then what would you tell families who are either encouraging their student to get involved or those who might be hesitant for their student to get too involved?
Getting too involved is definitely a real thing. I can be guilty of it sometimes, all the time. And it's important to keep in mind that while getting involved is so good, you don't want to overwhelm yourself, because if you overwhelm yourself, you'll get burnt out, or maybe you're just going to start slacking off. And like I said before, people are depending on you in certain situations. And so it's important that what you're getting involved in, you actually like it, and that you actually feel like you're getting something out of it, because being involved half-heartedly isn't as big of a, like, it's not, you're not going to get the same experience, and it's definitely not as rewarding. I would also say that there's literally no consequences to getting involved. There is nothing that's going to come out of getting involved that's going to be like, oh my God, I'm never doing that again. You're going to have good experiences. You're going to meet new people, and you're going to have stories that are going to shape your college career. So think of it that way.
And if you do have the, oh my gosh, I never want to do that again, at least you learned it in college rather than like
in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
And
So it's a
also
good place to
costs
learn
more
what you
money.
don't like.
And also, then you have a story.
Yeah.
It's true.
I got lots of stories. I got too many stories of messing up. But yeah, I definitely agree with everything she's saying. And for me, I look at it from a similar view, where you're spending all this money to be here. You want to get the most out of your experience. And I personally think that's through connecting with fellow students, through student organizations and on-campus involvement. And really, like you said, getting stories, getting experiences, learning. Getting your money's worth, and you become more connected to the campus in general. Like if you don't really get involved on campus or off campus, you might not feel a connection to the university, and then it also may impact your studies. Like there's been studies that show if you get more involved, your grades will be better throughout your college career. So
All of the statistics.
Yes. There's lots of research about involvement, and he is exactly right. There is a direct correlation between grades and involvement. And then you're the parents of students. You know your students better than anyone else, so you know how much they'll be able to commit to, and you'll be able to encourage them because, like I said, you know them the best.
Also, just to encourage you to get involved, if there's something out there that you like, someone else probably likes it too. And that's a great way to make friends, because when you come in your freshman year, you're going to know your roommate and your orientation group.
That's it.
And that's it. And the freshman dorms get really lonely when everyone else starts to find their places and starts to do their thing. So if you know, like coming in, like I'm really interested in blank, someone else is, there's an organization on campus for it. And if not, you can make it.
Yeah.
You can make one for it.
Yeah.
So there's no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
True.
I still know all my friends from freshman year because we got involved in some of the same things. So it's definitely getting involved early and often is my recommendation.
Oh, I like
So,
that.
yeah.
Early and often.
Yes.
Mm.
So yeah, I guess I think that's our good one takeaway: get involved early, get involved often. But that's all the questions we have for today. Thank you both so much for joining us. I love talking about involvement because
what we do.
No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
We're going to be back next month in March to talk about getting summer jobs and internships, and we'll have the Career Center with us. So we hope you will join us for that. If you want to sign up for our family newsletter, you'll go to uncw.edu/transitions. You'll click on family programs and then family resources, and the link will be right there. And you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at UNCW Transitions. And I'm super excited because at the end of this month, on Saturday, February 22nd, we have Spring Family Day. And so to access that, it's going to be uncw.edu/transitions. You'll go to family programs, and then there will be a tab for Spring Family Day, the link for registration, the schedule of events. We have a lot going on that day, and we hope that we'll see you at the end of February. Thank you so much.